Today we're going to be changing the rear valence on the back of our Smart 2009 Smart Cabriolet. We have the Lorinser panel, which we actually don't have yet because it did arrive. It was damaged by UPS. It went back. We're waiting for the new one. This is the rear valence that we're going to be taking off. There's two Torx bolts over here. There's a couple pins on the underside and either side, and then some clips over here. Okay, it looks like it's a Torx size 25. Okay, so here's where the pin is located on either side of the bumper. So we're going to pull that out. It's popping that up, and then there's an internal pin as well. So we'll see if we can get a little closer look at it later. Okay, that's what the pin looks like once it's removed. It's actually kind of a two-part pin. So the first thing you have to do is you have to pry this part up, because I'm not going to push it down, but this thing is going to be all the way down. It gets flush against here. So the first thing we want to do is we want to pry that up, and that pops out, and then you can push the rest of the pin out. So there's one of those on either side. That's what they look like. We're underneath the car. You can see here's the old exhaust over here. So you have these two clips on either side. You have to undo that clip. That allows this to pull forward, and then there's going to be several clips along the top here. So you just got to kind of work your way off the vehicle. The panel comes off. So just to give you a little more close-up detail, you basically got to wiggle your hand under there. Actually pull it towards you this way. And you can see there's a little flange, and then pull down as you do that. So now the rear valence is out. As you can see, we can now see the exhaust in the back of the vehicle. No red socks. Change of shirt, change of day. It took a long time for the new valence to come. The first one was damaged by UPS. The second one arrived right here. You can see it over here. A couple things that you need to do to the valence. You have these meshes over here that are going to go over right over here. Okay. This is the bracket that used to mount over here, exactly where the exhaust is. So obviously it needs to be cut. Because I went down to the bandsaw and I cut that off. Now I think I cut off enough. You have about 2.5 inches clearance. I'm exactly 2.5 inches. I'm going to trim that a little bit more so that we don't have 2.5 inches. But that way the rear bumper cover will get reattached to this bracket so that it'll get a little more stability when you put the valence back on. Now this valence, if you compare it to the stock valence, kind of very... What are you doing?
Yeah, both.
Okay, so it's kind of very flimsy. The other valence is actually very solid. So it's not clear if I actually need to attach that back onto there, but it certainly makes more sense. So we don't want the thing vibrating around back there. So we're going to go cut these. So we'll have about 2¼ inch over here, and then we're going to remount those, and we'll remount the bracket. Have that bracket that's been cut off over here to allow room for the exhaust. You can see over here, here's the exhaust, there's the bracket that's been cut off, giving myself about 2 inches over here because that's the clearance that we're going to have of the current valence. As you can see, this is where the screw lines up, so just to give that a little more stability. If we look over here, see it's a little flimsy. Over here, that's got a little more stability. Haven't even attached it yet. Bracket's on, and now we're going to put the valence on. Alright, and there it is. There's the Lorinser valence with the Doug Thorley dual twin exhaust. Just about done. Took a lot of wiggling, a little bit of filing. Finally got that panel on. I know that aftermarket products aren't an exact fit. They're not necessarily as precision, but you would think as a tuner like Lorinser that this panel would be exact. Now it is true that someone else painted it and there might be a little more too much paint where those clips are trying to go through, but the hole just really didn't look like the clip would go through. A little bit of filing, it finally went through. Smart Madness recommended we use a bolt and not a rock washer instead of